Why don't I play games with more viewership? Like what? Basically, every game I don't play has a specific reason for why. Like, Street Fighter 6 is just not my type of game, really. Street Fighter is the most popular game. Then it's Tekken. Then it's Stripe. I've been thinking about playing Street Fighter and Tekken for stream, but I don't plan to compete in those games. So that's why I haven't played them much. I also think both Street Fighter and Tekken are basically not very fun games to play. Compared to like the most fun games in the genre, like team games, like, you know, Melee, Rivals 2 even, I would say. But they do have big scenes, so that does actually add for a lot. And like, I don't really want to play games just because other people like them or because the viewership is good. I'm not like, I've never cared that much about money, as you probably know. If I did, I would not be fucking still playing Strive. I would be chasing the milli in Street Fighter. But I do think that there's something about like streaming a game like Strive is just not very fun. Because there's no rank system, there's no like show for most viewers, right? And the game is so fucking bad now, and it's bad and it's stale bad, which is like the worst part, right? Like, everyone knows why Strive is so fucking terrible now, or most people do. You don't really have to say that, like, wow, Potemkin is double S tier. Like, they fucked that shit up, but like, the game doesn't get updates anymore, blah, 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 blah. Like Arxis have literally already, like, fucked over their games like this, like, several times before already. So, it's not even an interesting bad, right? Like, you couldn't make a fucking YouTube video about the fall of Guilty Gear Strive because everyone that's involved in Strive already knows exactly how it's bad. So there's no real story when you stream Strive. And obviously, like, there's not that many people to play. There's a lot more than City of the Wolves, but there's not like an insane amount of, like, it's not like insanely stacked or anything. So I do think that like playing Tekken and Street Fighter could just be fun because one, I'm worse at them, so like there'll be this they're worse and they're newer, so I can, like, you know, try to aim for 2KMR or whatever the fuck, right? Like there will be a bit of a journey, but then the ranked system is just also so much better. City of the Wolves definitely does not have the most EVO entrance. It's not even remotely close. Wait, worst combo possible? Boom. I'm not sure really, Tiger. Which ones are you going to again? Are you going to mix up? Like, the thing is that we don't know where the City of the Wolves are, where the qualifiers are going to be. It's really silly. So I was planning on going to mix up because it's also gold plus for Strive, right? But like, how am I alive? He just smashed. But yeah, I basically have not decided yet. I think what date is OTB again? It's like 3 events in July, if I remember correctly. But yeah, right now the only event I know I'm going to is EVO, basically. If mix-up is not a qualifier, I might still go if I want to practice. Because there is, at least there was last time I checked, there was a direct flight. So it's like one of the easiest majors for me to go to. But Mix-Up is honestly not that good of a time. Not because the tournament's badly organized, really. It's just because it's during the summer. And Europe, if you don't know, Europe does not have good air conditioning. So, like, a lot of events are just really miserable. Hessen Crash was, like, it was ran well. I think the schedule could have used a little work, basically. But, like, it was really fucking miserable. Because it was just too hot. And, like, they did everything they could, but, like, they just don't... They just didn't have good air conditioning. So, like... And it was a heat wave. But yeah, like, Strive is just a fucking horrible game. And Arxis is a fucking horrible... Not only developer, but, like, esports runner. Like, all their tournaments fucking suck ass. All the formats are terrible. They don't listen to feedback. They don't do fucking anything. There's no money in it compared to the other... So, like... Wasting a bunch of money going to tournaments with no prize money that no one gives a shit if I win, just so that I can be like 2% higher, like be 99% instead of 97% for me to qualify. It's like, why? 99% for me to qualify versus 97 in a game I hate, in a version that I won't practice, because I will not practice Season 5 if 2SKO is out there. Even if 2SKO is utter dog shit when it comes out, and Strive is good, I probably will play 95% more 2SKO anyway. The industry is not obsessed with doing something new. That is just very wrong. I'm not gonna lie. You are extremely cap. Like, extremely not have not paid attention if you think the fighting game industry is obsessed with doing something new. They are literally the exact opposite. Every game is Street Fighter 6. Even if it was 60%, my decision wouldn't really change. I'm gonna be real with you. I think a lot of people, maybe Strive is their first game, or maybe if it's not, people just don't want to accept that I don't like this game, that I fucking despise the developers. Like, not obviously on a personal level, but like, they run the ship so fucking badly. And they just lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. Like, to me, supporting Arc World Tour is like supporting Nintendo. Like, it's exact same thing for me. They do not deserve any support from anyone. They do not treat us with respect. They do not follow up on what they actually do. I only, because there are a lot of people that say that type of shit, right? They say, oh, you just pretend to hate it. Surely you don't hate it that much, right? I had a conversation with Kizzy at CEO after we played. He's like, you like Fatal Fury, you like Khan, and I'm like I had to, because I think a lot of people, when it comes to fighting games, even people that have been sponsored, I don't think a lot of people understand that, like, that feeling of playing a game purely because you purely because you like competing and not because you like the game. Like, I'm a competition junkie in the same way that, like, you know, you hear Michael Jordan fucking, like, flip coins for... bet on flipping coins and shit. You gamble on the fucking... there was a fucking TikTok I saw where gambling addict gambles on, like, if the gambling help hotline will be a female voice or a male voice. Like, I just like competing and improving. And I will, you know... I will do what an addict does, which is just take whatever the fuck I can get. That does not mean, you know, Me drinking this stale beer doesn't mean that like this is the best drink. This is my favorite cocktail. But yeah, I just have to like over and over say that like, dude, if Fatal Fury did not have prize money, I would never fucking touch that game. like that doesn't mean that I hate every single part about it, right? But like, I don't hate every single part about scrubbing a toilet. Like, the sense of accomplishment when you're done is amazing. But that doesn't mean that I would fucking go clean toilets for free. I just don't think most people realize that, like, bro, I'm not a fucking adult. I have bills to pay. I have a sponsor to make happy. If scrubbing toilets had $4 million prize pool, I would probably be happier doing that than I am practicing Fatal Fury in like Europe where there's almost no one to play. I don't have to travel, work less hours, less stress. The Steam shards are better. That's what I'm trying. Basically, all I'm trying to say is just like, even though I play these games a lot, and even though there are parts that I like about Strive, there's far, far more shit that I hate. And I do not consider them good games at all. I think basically the only people that can enjoy this game are people that just like have a character that they think doesn't exist anywhere else, which is generally not true. Because Strive character designs are, for the most part, not unique, at least anymore. Or two, it's just their first game. That makes it, like, if it's your first fighting game or first real competitive experience, it makes it so much easier to enjoy this. If you don't have perspective, it becomes a lot easier, you know? Convert those better. Oh no, this breaks. I'm really bad on this stage. Like, I don't know what breaks and what doesn't. That's why I find the most fun when I stream Strive to just like play the game and no mic, no cam it, because when I do that, I can at least focus on the simple act of scrubbing the toilet. Listening to the music, just being like, I'm 50% done with scrubbing the toilet. I am trying very hard to improve, right? That is a thing that you can enjoy in this game. Just like purely getting better at something. This game is actually not that easy because if you want to be consistent in a game this babyfied and volatile, then you need like a lot of work still. So it can teach you how to improve at things. Exactly, Zono. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, not only is this game irredeemable dog shit, it's also uninteresting because there's no ranked mode, right? There's no goal to go for. And it's not dog shit in a new way. Like, we've had these problems for so long. And like, yeah, there's just nothing interesting. It's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. That's why also, like, I kind of got derailed because I just wanted to show off like just how much utter hatred I have for this game and this company. Like, especially like, if this game released like this, it would be such a different vibe than what it is now, to be clear, right? Because we know that this game could have been great. We know that this is not what it had to be. I think that's what makes it sucks the most. And we're also used, like, this game literally would have been more fun to compete in if it was just left in a state that it used to be in. back combo. Close at 6H. Insinga should break there. Getting hit there by BRC makes it so much worse. Like, after BRCing makes it so much worse. Yeah, like, I think the interesting part about this for me, like, I think one of the reasons why I have so little fun with Strive is that not only is the game bad, but it is also a game that is not made for me. Like, the people that just, like, play big bodies and pop off every time they get a big red bar hit, that's who the game is for, right? So I also just feel like, even though I like this game more than the City of the Wolves, it is, at least that game is made for people somewhat remotely like me as a person. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I am at Strive events, I just feel very out of place. And it's not because I'm fucking straight white guy. Oh sure, I'm half Asian. It's because, like, the people that and how they act when they play the game are so far away from how I act when I compete, and they're so far away from how, like, different parts of the FGC act. Like, dude, every person I play in Fatal Fury is just like some like OG who just, like, sits down, plays, shakes my hand. You know, they still give a shit. Like, ET cried when he beat me at CEO, and you can really see that people give a shit. But everyone's just, like, very, like, humble and straight to the point. Even the people that pop off and shit like that. Bro, when I play Strive and my opponent gets a hit, I'm expecting them to, like, hit a Fortnite dance. Like, there's not a set that I've played in Strive without someone tweaking somehow. It's like, either they have a plushie, they're laughing every time they get a hit, they're doing the super IRL, they have to put their favorite song on, the favorite stage, like, recite the full, like, fucking, I don't know, Full Metal Alchemist chant. It's just like, there has to be something always. What's wrong with plushies? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with plushies. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I mean, plenty of kids had plushies in kindergarten. I just don't like. I've like this was the thing in Melee too. I remember pre-cancellation, DJ Nintendo always brought a fucking crusty ass Bowser plushie that he needed to bring to every set, and he needed to, like, put it right next to the setup. Which, like, every set he played, and it was like grayed out. It was so old. And he picks fucking Fox. He doesn't even pick Bowser. This take is so anti-fun. I'm sorry if I hurt you. And if you like plushies and you like that shit, then I think that's completely fine. Like, I'm not trying to say that you can't do it. I just, you know, this is like me saying that, oh, I don't want to go to, like, the furry bar. I don't want to go to the... I don't know, like gay bar, I guess. No, that's like way, that's like a sexuality. No, and I actually think gay bars are fun as fuck. But let's say cowboy bar. Cowboy bar is a better example. I'm not saying that no one can be into like cowboy hats and like say yeehaw and like have cowboy theming and ride the bull and shit like that, you know? If you like that shit, great for you. My original point is I just feel out of place, bro. Maybe I want a metal bar, you know? And I think that's complete, like, I don't understand why people have to act as if I'm like oppressing them when I say that I think that plushie, like bringing a plushie and putting it next to your every time you play a set is corny or not for me. I'm not saying it's a crime. I'm not saying you can't do the super input with your hands every now and then. Like, I've done it too. I think if there's an iconic line or something, you can feel yourself a little bit. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a showman, but there's being, you know, a showman. There's doing a dance, and then there's doing like the you saw the breakdance Olympics. It's subjective, and that's the thing, right? It's just subjective. Some people like that shit. Some people think it's whack. I think the Strive community is a bit whack when it comes to like sportsmanship and keeping like a certain level of like professionalism during tournaments. Some people just want it to be pure fun. Like, I am well aware that out of the Strive players, I'm in the minority here. At least out of those still playing, right? And I've said this many times that like I do really feel like the Strive crowd and the AnimeCon crowd that go to like anime cons and cosplay are very close now. And it was less so before because basically the general FGC is not as much into cosplay and anime and shit like that, like very nerdy shit. I mean, it's still nerdy, don't get me wrong. It's just a different type, different vibe, different genre maybe of nerd. And as a lot of the people that play multiple games stop playing Strive because it's no longer the biggest game, right? Like Strive is, you know, not even gonna be on, like it's not even a Sunday game at every tournament anymore, right? Because there's new, better games or more popular games that a lot of these other people that are closer to quote unquote being normie. Yeah, this is one of those things where like, if it was in a different scenario, I feel like people would never give a shit about me preferring a different vibe. Like, I just want to be a part of a different club at school, you know? I'm not trying to be a bully. I'm not trying to be like, this person is a fucking terrible... And I also think, like, Zato, for example, I also think that you can just grow out of things. You can be the guy that loves cubes, and then you can one day wake up and be like, you know what? This bit has gotten tired. This is no longer interesting. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I'm into different things. Maybe I'm into rap these days, right? I'm more into triangles. And I thought a little bit that it was just me being old and hating Zoomers. And it probably is a little bit like that, right? But I don't think there's anything wrong with growing old as long as you're not resentful and hateful towards other things. All right, GG's. Ow. Ow. I didn't even... Ow. Hit my... Since when did people want the FGC to be more professional, though? Why are you saying people? I just said me. I mean, if you're asking that, like... I think there's plenty of people that don't like that the Strike community is, like, less professional. I think there's definitely some people that prefer the quote-unquote vibe of Tekken or Street Fighter community compared to Strive, right? I think some people, like, let's say Majin Obama, are, like, extremely over-the-top hateful towards Strive. And some people do genuinely use Striver as a term. I wouldn't call it a slur. I think if you think that's calling someone a slur, I think you need to grow the fuck up and touch some fucking grass. But yeah, I do think that Strive has become the game that it's just cool to hate on, right? It's always kind of been like that, but it is more so now. But just because you shouldn't hate on things just because it's cool, I also think there's an argument that you should be able to hate on things despite it being cool to hate on it. Especially when you're someone like me who like actively participates and, you know, has tried to contribute a lot to the Strive community. I've given the Strive community a lot of benefit of the doubt. And I've also had like 7 people that I've talked to regularly in Strive turn out to be, you know, people that should be banned or like get canceled. Lil Nat 4, thanks so much. Yeah, Strive community is more carefree and less professional about it. Yeah, it's more weeby. It's more like loving a character. People like. I personally absolutely hate that the Strive community is so obsessed with like which fucking character everyone plays, and it's so like unashamedly biased and like if you win with Chaos, you won with Chaos. Or if you win with Potemkin, you win with Potemkin. You're not like a good player. You're not like a... Like, people don't give a shit about that at all, basically. I think that turns into a very rough competitive environment. But I do understand that identifying a lot with characters... Like, Strive's themes are literally about identity. And I think it is really cool that it is a game that has, like, very, very strong... you know, social messages and like it's very woke. But I also think that you can, you know, be a supportive and you can be an ally without wanting to only play games or have a community that is focused around it, right? And I think that nuance is something that people are just not willing to accept. That like I think it's okay that people can express themselves. I do think it's okay to be in a polycule. I don't necessarily think you gotta bring the cule to the tournament in front of everyone. I think there are some limits that you know you can want. Who taught Leff in these words? Strive. Strive did. Do you guys know what a meta amor is? That name goes fucking hard, by the way. He's oomfies. What's a cule? No, it is not because Strive is attracting a younger crowd. It's actually at all. The Strive crowd is actually pretty old. I think there are a lot of COVID kids though, so there are definitely a lot of emotionally stunted people, and my initial reaction to seeing some people act and like there's some people at the last couple Strive tournaments I've been to that were just like extremely fucking loud and like they're just screaming and like, oh my god, this is how I play Celeste. Oh my god, I gotta get like they were just extremely loud and like you know, very obviously not matching the vibe of one, the opponent they were playing against, and two, like the other people around, right? Like they were just being annoying and loud, and other people playing tournament next to it, stuff like that, right? And I think everyone has the like gut reaction. They see a like 25-year-old person and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, read the room, right? But there are legit just a lot of people that have not been to tournaments that mostly talk to other people on Discord. You know, like essentially COVID kids or COVID adults, you know. And I do try to give people slack that, like, you know, when you're at your first tournament, it's a really like unique experience. A lot of people just haven't learned yet. Right? Like the first time you drink alcohol, like you're probably gonna get fucking wasted and make a fool out of yourself, right? So I do try to like give people more credit than I normally would when it comes to age and stuff like that, especially because there is just like there's like a big experience gap. It feels like where like some people that are 20 and some people that are 25 like or 30, like that probably it did happen in like previous generation when there wasn't COVID too. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's more pronounced now that like some people never started going outside again. Am I one of them? I have not, Jason, I have not noticed you being loud to the point of disturbing others, at least. Again, I wouldn't say I'm a quiet person at all. And I can definitely tweak out in the right moment. And I do genuinely think, and this is such a fucking old person thing to say, and I apologize, that like, I think it's so much about reading the room. If the entire room is drinking and dancing and breaking down and having a blast, it is so much more okay to be another loud person. If you're the only person doing it, if it's like during a tournament set, it's just a very different vibe, right? Yeah, and I would consider you, at least in my opinion, like conscious about it. Yeah, and I also think that it is completely fine to be like there's no real rules. It's just sportsmanship, right? I think, like for example, Wrestle or someone who like likes putting on a show or whatever, or HBox or you know, like there's so many people, right? That like every single grapple player in the world. A lot of them play number one because they like attention and they like doing the funny thing. And I personally don't even think there is an issue with this. Right? I think it is completely fine to just want to do something cool in front of people. And I'm not going to sit here and say that like I've never been like that or anything. I just think that it is important that people realize that if you do things, if you're a show-off, this can be fun for the crowd, but it does almost certainly come at the expense of the opponent. Your opponent probably, not always, but probably does not appreciate you popping off on him as much as you think he does. I mean, that's kind of obvious, I guess. Like, I don't know. This should be obvious that if you pop off super hard, and especially if you make a show out of it, it's not like, yes, it's like, woohoo, wee-hee, like, let's hug, let's, you know, like, let's sing a song, let's do, dude, when at Tsuyotaku, the first Tsuyotaku for Strive, someone won, and then Persona, I think, and then did the Neko art dance, like the full dance, like, painfully long, like, 30 seconds straight or something. If you do that, do it. But if people think that you're like not sportsman-like, or if your opponent doesn't like it, if it rubs some people the wrong way, I think you have to accept that. It is not wrong to not like that part. Yeah, I mean, I think it's very different to do like to showboat for your CEO intro. That is one of the places where I would never judge someone for showboating. I also think, by the way, that like this is one of the reasons why I personally really prefer head-to-head setups. Because I think that it is completely fine if a grappler player wants to pop off every time they hit a pop buster, and they want to like start throwing it back, twerk 4 times every time they do a heavenly. I think this is legitimately completely fine. Like even if I think they're corny, or if anyone thinks they're corny, there's nothing wrong with it, right? But obviously the problems come up when you might bump into your opponent, like you're actually being distracting to the other person, right? I mean, it just depends on the game and the event. Generally, it is just like how more niche a game is, if you're speaking broadly, and how anime adjacent it is. It's interesting too because this is not really a thing for smaller anime games that I've noticed. There's only some, like the Persona games are pretty much like are very like showboaty, like very special. Strive is very much like that now, which is pretty interesting because I feel like Strive, like yeah, it has anime, but it's like if you compare Strive's character design to Uni or Blaze Blue, it's actually like really watered down and normie, right? Like compared to Melty Blood, Uni, Fates, just regular anime, like Strive doesn't even have like a little girl that is actually 1,000 years old. I guess Mei is like almost that trope though. Youth is getting more prude. I could see that, but it's definitely not true for Strive. But I could see it. I can see it in another way because, like, I've been to younger scenes than the Strive scene that are way more prude, if that makes sense, or socially conservative than Strive, right? So I guess I can see it. I don't know, this is definitely like old man talk though. I'm kind of in the minority of a lot of these things where I'm like, well, I guess I'm not in the minority, but I'm definitely an old person in this where I'm like, not full on protect the kids or like, will someone think of the children? But also kind of like, do you need to have like people going at events and like I do think there should be some kind of a dress code when you know there's going to be like children of all ages there. I do think there should be alcohol restrictions in some ways, like maybe don't drink every part of the venue, maybe keep it to the bar area. Dude, I've had to mute so many Strive players, because on their Twitter is just posting about like Jacko armpit porn. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, that was like the most recent one I remember. I just had to read those words and I was like, all right, you're gone. There's so many people I have had to mute. Who I'm following? This is For You page. This is like a known Strive player. I don't know if you can see your like It was someone I've seen at events. That's all I remember. I mean, yeah, it's like there's a lot of gooners in Strive. There's also a lot of gooners in like Street Fighter and stuff like that too. Holy my posting, bro. I actually think that like, so I thought before Street Fighter was had more gooners than any other community. Now I actually think Strive is worse. I actually think something changed and gooning became more accepted in Strive. I remember it being like pretty chill, like surprisingly chill for a long time for Strive. Where I was like reacting to it like, this is kind of weird. Because most weebs are very much gooners, right? Because Strive was such a downgrade in gooning and like fan service, gooner appeal rather, compared to the old Guilty Gears and old Arxis games, like Blaze Blue and old Guilty Gears, like, yikes, that shit goes crazy, right? I think because it was such a downgrade initially, the Strive scene was just like, even on Twitter was like a bit calmer, and then slowly over the years it just started creeping back up again. But again, this is probably just like the scene being more niche, and I think as people get more comfortable within their like niches, if you ever get into that niche, like when a scene grows smaller, people care less and less about what they say might look to outsiders, right? Because there are less people that you don't know in the scene. More people that you talk to or see online, a larger percentage of those people are people in your Discord that you already know and like that talk exactly like you, right? So I think as the scene grew more niche, people just started wilding out again and caring less about how they look to others. But because of how algorithm works, if I post about Unica, the algorithm thinks that I need to see Unica, like someone gooning over Unica on my fucking timeline because I follow the Unica hashtag for tech. Strive did not goonify all their characters intentionally. It's actually a really big downgrade compared to previous games. I don't know. I guess I am a prude in this. I remember seeing that like there was one Eno player that I played against at an offline event whose name was Send Eno Ludes Please or something. And I side-eyed them the entire 4 minutes I 3-0'd them. Like, that shit is probably so fucking funny to them. It's like an inside joke or something. To me, it's just like I sat a little bit further away, zoned the shit out of them, don't even want to get close to them in-game, you know? I saw in NA, there's an Elfield player called Edging and Gooning, and I'm just like, really? Like, really? Am I the only one who thinks you shouldn't be named that? I don't know. I'm not gonna like, I would never like bring it up to a TO or anything, right? I just side-eye them viciously. Quietly and on my stream, I will judge you. Wank and Tank. Wank and Tank is funnier than Edging and Gooning, though. It definitely matters how funny it is. Bro, there's the guy who's tagged Obama bin Leffen. I think this shit is funny. I mean, what's crude to one person might be normal to another, right? And I would never say that like, wow, this is like this is like a high priority that we need to, this is the change we need to see in the world.